But when a whole people are being starved by force, it's very difficult to see hope in that. It's actually not only difficult, I sometimes am very conscious that I'm talking about food while my people are being starved.
Tanka Gazavia.
So that comes from Gaza. Tomatoes, dill seeds, fresh dill, chili, garlic, olive oil, and lemon, and a bit of salt. And that's a salad you will see at every Gaza table. In 1948, when Israel was created and occupied 52% of Palestine, the Palestinians forgot to preserve things like food on paper. But in reality, if you were thrown out of your village or your city or your town and you ended up in a refugee camp in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan, what was the first thing you did? You actually cooked Palestinian, even if you didn't have the means to cook Palestinian. But the only thing that was tangible was to do an olive and say, this came from our land in Palestine, was to cook a Palestinian dish. And today I'm seeing that we are realizing how important food is to keep our culture and identity that sadly is being wiped out. You know, when you look at the attacks on Gaza, it is not only the attacks against human beings. There has been a systematic attack against schools, against archives, against museums, against places of religious importance, and they are trying to wipe out our connection to this land. I think if you take any Palestinian, wherever they are, and you squeeze them, what you get is not blood, you get olive oil coming out of them. It's part of our DNA. Also, you know, when you look at these olives, every olive, how they're made, is very different. In Palestine, thank you. I can eat the whole thing. The olives we have, some of the olive trees are the oldest in the world in Palestine. And the olive cycle gives the rhythm of our cuisine. So when it's olive picking season, people go out onto the lands and they pick their olives. There's food that they take with them for the olive picking. For example, we do the stuffed courgettes and vine leaves, which is a slow cooking, and people will take the pot with them to the land, and that's what they will eat when they're under the olive trees. Today, olive oil is also very symbolic because sadly, since the Israeli occupation, there has been a systematic uprooting of olive trees in Palestine. The settlers are burning down olive trees. They're attacking Palestinians during the olive picking season. And it makes our link jeopardized to this land. The book is centered around Bethlehem. I was born in Bethlehem, I grew up in Bethlehem, so it's also the people in Bethlehem that make that food possible. It's the artisans, the farmers, the organizations. There's a lot of my family in the book because they also influenced a lot. It's a city that's known worldwide because 2,000 years ago, Jesus was born in Bethlehem. But in reality, nobody knows Bethlehem. Even tourists who come to Bethlehem, many of them come on an organized tour, sadly by Israeli government, by Israeli travel agents, and they only get a few hours in Bethlehem. So they only manage to go to the church, to a souvenir shop, and they go out. What I tried to do with the book is tell the story of the rest of the city, of the market, of the souk, to tell the story of the people in the market. You know, people ask me, are you Christian or Muslim? And I only answer one thing: I'm Palestinian. And before 1948, before the creation of the State of Israel, Palestinians were Samaritan, Jewish, Muslim, and Christian. And we were all the same. There's a beautiful moment in Bethlehem in the afternoon where you have the call for prayer, the Muslim call for prayer, and the church bells ringing at the same time. And for me, it's this moment that defines what Palestinians are, because it's all of this in 1 second.